What's going on, you beautiful people? I'm your host of Oso Films, and welcome back to a late night episode of the Cookie Mug Podcast. If you have not already noticed the obvious changes, you know what I mean. It's the visuals. The visuals. We don't look cheap no more. No more Discord call. Let's go. Yeah, I'm really happy. I actually made this entire visual myself. I hope you guys like it too. Let me know in the comment section below. I didn't have much to upload. I think it was the last 2 or 3 days. Usually it's every 2 days or every 3 days I upload a video. That's how it's always been in the channel. But if you guys haven't already known, I've been working on a stop motion for a while now, and it's finally in the process of being done. So I've just been editing it all together, getting it all ready, and it's taken up a lot of my time. So that's why I haven't uploaded as much, because I've been entertained with that, as well as school. That's also been a major part of my life at the moment. So yeah, it's all a bit hectic. But I also didn't want to have to make a video where I had to read off a script, so I just decided, why not fire up another episode of the podcast. So you're probably wondering why my friend isn't on right now, the one from episode 1. He has personal things going on in his life, so as of right now, I think for the foreseeable future, he won't be in any of the episodes until he wants to, or if he ever wants to. I'll ask him from time to time, but that's really up to him. But right now, he is busy with things in his own life, which I will not get into, because that's private. I don't do that. I don't leak things into the internet like that. But yeah, a lot of things have been happening. I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed on the internet. For example, Keemstar is apparently retiring, which I will make a solo video on that on its own, because I need some sort of content for the channel after being dormant for 3 or 4 days. We've also noticed that Nintendo is charging like $50 for a game that you can emulate on your phone or on your PC, pretty much wherever. And we're also going to be discussing a controversial topic that I covered on Mini Lad, and people in the comment section were like, "Do you like?" They were asking me, "Do I believe in second chances?" And when it comes in regards to Mini Lad, I think it's completely a one-sided answer, which we will all tackle in this podcast episode. And also, recently, there's been a threat to various of schools. I think it was this week or last week. It was known to like us, but there's been hoax or threats made to schools, pretty much. And I'm not going to get into what specific type of threat. I think it does. I don't really think it takes a genius to really understand what type of threat I'm referring to as of right now. But yeah, and I'm also going to be announcing the stop motion. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about. So why not start right now? So, like I previously said, I haven't uploaded because of school. I haven't uploaded because of a major project I have for the channel that's pretty much in the process of being completed, which is a stop motion. And right now, on top of that, there wasn't really much I could make a video on that was interesting at the time. There wasn't really much going on, and I think I kind of messed myself up in that department, because I was relying too much on the commentary side of things when I should be thinking out of the box. For example, this episode, it should have been out by Sunday, I think, or Saturday. If you don't follow me on my socials, like Twitter or Instagram, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes if you don't follow me. So make sure you check the links out in the description below. That's where all of my socials are gonna be. Um, please, I urge you, if you do like my content, like you want to be aware of the things that's going on with the content, make sure to follow me on those two platforms. That's all you gotta do, and I'll be updating you. You can even communicate with me. We can talk from time to time. Just make sure you're not creepy, please. All right. So I really want to talk about this Nintendo $50 thing, by the way. So if I'm not mistaken, Nintendo, I think I live streamed my reaction to this. Nintendo had announced that if you paid for their Nintendo Online or something like that, I don't remember the name of it. It was like $50 and you would get a pack of DLCs or whatever. I don't know what it was, to be honest, but pretty much you would be able to play the retro games, the Nintendo 64 games and everything like that. And if I'm being honest, the games they announced that you're going to be able to play, I have never heard of. For example, let me search up one of the titles that was announced. Here, I found them. The games listed right now are Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Yoshi's Story, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Tennis, Dr. Mario 64, Sin and Punishment, Win Back, more Nintendo 64 games that I think were gonna be included or gonna be included. It's Banjo Kazooie, Paper Mario, Pokemon Snap, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Golf, F Zero X, I think it is. And these are all, I think, recognizable titles. They had like Sega Genesis type games as well. Let me look for that real quick. I found the other titles, which is from it's 14 Sega Genesis titles. Wow, that's a lot. They're all being Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra, Hard Corpse. Wow, that's an odd name. Doctor Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, I think it's called, Fantasy Star 4, The End of the Millennium, Ristar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage. I was about to say Stress of Rage. Wow. Streets of Rage 2 and Strider. If I'm being honest, I have never heard of some of these titles. For example, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I've never ever heard of it in my whole life. But these aren't just the only things. If you were to pay for like $50 for the Switch Online expansion pack, I think they're also selling like the retro versions of the Nintendo Switch controller, which I think it's pretty cool. If anybody out there is into retro and they want to own at least a copy a copy of the Nintendo 64 controller to play on their Switch, I think that's a pretty cool add-on. If I'm being honest, I've heard people aren't a ton of people aren't really fans of the controller itself, and I can see why. I mean, the joystick is literally in the middle bottom half of the controller, and it's pretty funky. I've never held one myself, but I'd assume it's pretty weird to handle. But I wanna see, why are they charging almost, I'm pretty sure it's $39. I might be mistaken by saying it's $50, but why are they charging almost $50 for something that you can literally emulate on your PC or on your phone or pretty much anywhere that pretty much is an Android? Pretty sure iOS is pretty much blocks anybody and making it almost impossible to do that. Not that you should emulate things. I think it was ordinary gamers that once said that he is with pirating games if they don't directly benefit the company anymore, like like financially wise. For example, if I were to buy a copy of the Super Mario 60, or not Super Mario 64, Super Mario Brothers, like the NES version, which pretty much still benefits Nintendo to this day. But let's pretend it doesn't. Like that title is done with. No, they didn't continue it. Yes, I wouldn't see anything wrong with pirating it, because it's not benefiting Nintendo in any way to buy the game or play the game now. But how else could I put this? Nintendo 64, Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Bros. 64 is right now benefiting Nintendo, so I guess in a way it does damage the company, so I would be pretty much against that if you were to emulate it nowadays. It's really this was really not an issue to do it, actually. I don't know. I think that's a bit of an iffy subject, if I'm being honest, because but yeah, it's actually really easy to emulate some of these games, if I'm being honest. I just don't see why they're charging a ridiculous amount, like $50 to play all those games when I can play them for for free. I definitely would not pay $50 to play a game that I could play for free if I wanted to at any time of the day. But hey, that's just my opinion. And of course, I'm not saying that you guys should go out of your way and pirate all sorts of Nintendo games or products or Sega products as well. Of course, I'm not promoting that in any way. But again, it's possible. And I don't think Nintendo can really stop you in any case. But yeah, uh, yeah, that's really all I had to say on that piece. I just think it's ridiculous to charge. And I remember when Nintendo Online, or I don't remember if it was Nintendo Online or something like that. I remember it being for free on the 3DS, and it was just, I still had a 3DS, but it kind of got destroyed. But I found it fun. But I'm just kind of disappointed that now, if I were to buy a Switch to even remotely be able to play online with my friends, I just find it kind of upsetting that I have to pay money of subscription for it, almost like PS Plus. But I guess in a way, we kind of had it coming. Nintendo was eventually gonna pick up on the fact on how much PlayStation or Sony, I mean to say, Sony and Microsoft are profiting. Oh my god, I can't speak. How much they're profiting off of charging subscriptions to play online, which I guess is kind of an opportunity financial wise for Nintendo. But hey, that again is all my opinion. Just kind of sad. I also wanted to talk real quick about what was it? I think it was a video I uploaded. Yeah, it was a video I uploaded about Mini Lad returning to YouTube. And a lot of people were asking me in the comment section. In fact, some were saying, "Oh, I forgive him," Like they genuinely were saying it. I was kind of testing the waters to see just how serious they were. And they were saying, "Oh, I forgive him." But they weren't really giving me a reason to be, if I'm being completely honest. There's this one saying, "Yo, do you believe in second chances? Because I forgive Mini Lad, but do you believe in second chances? Would you give Mini Lad a second chance?" And that's where I'm kind of like, I haven't seen this man online. Just one video isn't gonna cut it for me to say, "Yo, I forgive him because of the way he looks now and how he looked back then." That's that's just not how I roll, to be honest. I don't go off of appearance. You need to prove to me, and this is just me speaking, right? You have to prove to me that you've actually changed. To me, Mini Lad still hasn't changed a bit, and I'll address that real quick. He hasn't changed a bit because of the way he just responds to the whole situation, calling it pretty much trying in a way to paint himself as the victim of the whole situation, when he knows it's the other way around. In regards of giving a second chance, personally, I wouldn't give him a second chance. I mean, it's just horrendous things he did at an age where his brain was pretty much developed to the point where he could be conscious of what he's doing. He didn't have the mind of a 50. Well, I mean, he kind of did act like a complete 15-year-old, but he he okay, scientifically he didn't have the mind of a 15-year-old anymore. The decisions he knew he was taking, he was fully aware of. He knew the impacts and everything, which is why he was threatening to off himself and everything. Listen, I don't want to, if you haven't seen the Mini Lad video, please make sure to check it out. I do make some good points about it. I don't really remember right now because I'm kind of dazed at the moment. Just kind of picked up the mic and started talking in it. But I wouldn't give Mini Lad a second chance. That's just me speaking wholeheartedly. Like, that's my moral code saying I wouldn't let a potential danger to my business, back into my business just for it to get destroyed or for my coworkers to get harassed. That's what I would do. If someone I hired is a clear threat or clearly was in the past and hasn't proven in any way that they would be willing to change or help themselves, if they haven't proven anything of that, which Mini Lad still hasn't proved to me or anyone in the community, he hasn't proven that he deserves a second chance, and he just kind of jumps the gun and goes into what he, I guess, likes to do now. But yeah, just no, I don't I don't feel like he deserves a second chance. It's just too much of a long shot. He has done so many despicable things. You guys have to remember, this guy is borderline a I'm gonna just say Geppetto. He was borderline a Geppetto. He was exposed to be, no, I'm sorry, is a Geppetto, because just his apology didn't clear up anything. He didn't clear up anything correctly. That's where I'm like, you can't forgive this man when he hasn't cleared anything up to this day. He hasn't cleared up anything that could at least make him look remotely innocent in a way, or to the point where the community's like, "Oh, we forgive you." You know what I mean? He hasn't shown any of that. So I don't see why people are forgiving him that easily, pretty much in the name of childhood nostalgia. I said this in the video. People are only forgiving him because of the way he looks, not because of the way he is at the moment. But yeah, everyone points out, "Oh, he's gone slimmer." That's clearly means he's changed. Yes, he changed. Physically, though. Remember that, kids. He changed physically. You can change physically it's what oh okay, I'm stumbling on my own words. You can change physically, but it's really what depends on your complete changes your mentality towards situations like that. He handled it horribly. To this day, I believe he's still handling it horribly, acting as if it never happened. I do realize I do know he kind of acknowledged it in his stream, but he kind of wiped it off like, oh, it was nothing. It was like it's an occasion. He treated it like an occasional Twitter argument, which I just don't. I did not get a good taste from that. He came off almost as condescending when he kind of acknowledged that situation in his return to his main channel, which is why I'm just like, no, he doesn't deserve a second chance. No chance in. I was gonna no, just no chance, no chance. No, I would not give him a single chance. Not in a million years of how many. I can't speak. Yeah, but yeah. So in conclusion, I wouldn't give him a chance. That's what I'm really trying to say. But yeah. It's just there was a chance it could have been a hoax. A lot of people wanted it to be a hoax, but he got exposed, and he got exposed hard, and he couldn't defend himself for the life of him. So yeah, I just everything was proven to be 100% confirmed, right? So that's why I'm like, no way am I going to give this guy a second chance if he's treated it the way he's still treating it to this day, just acting as if it wasn't such a big deal. And speaking of hoax, and this is just me ranting a bit about real life. There was a recent like threat made to my school, and I think it wasn't just my school; it was another bunch of schools. But I'm gonna use my school for an example. My school got a vicious threat, and I'm saying vicious because it was low key terrifying, and I was pretty nervous throughout the day of being in school today. Um, there was a threat being made against my school. Pretty much, someone saying that they were gonna do harmful things to my school and the people in it. And he was saying, "Oh, I'm saying he because that the name there was like screenshots surfacing around the internet right now of the threat, the full thread itself too. So if you guys really wanted to see the screenshot, I think a quick Google search would do it. But pretty much the guy was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this at this time at this day, and I'm not misunderstood. I'm not depressed. I'm not." He's like, "I'm gonna tell everyone in my interrogation." Now, this wouldn't be the first time that someone has made a false threat against the school, and unfortunately, it most likely won't be the last time. And I have to ask, what in God's name must go through your mind to do something this despicable? Like honestly, my friends, they were genuinely terrified to show up to school today because of this threat. Now, I understand why as well. I mean, we live in a world, unfortunately, where these type of things, every time we go to school, there's a chance of it happening, and it sucks. It's something we have to live with, and as long as humans are alive, it's what they have to live with as well in the next generation, so forth. And I don't know. I really want to know what goes through someone's mind to make them go or make them think that it's okay to make threats like that to pretty much a bunch of kids. Like why? My school is in contact with the Snapchat database team, and they're trying to find out who the person behind this account is. Most of the times, I want to say I'm gonna give it a 95% of the times they will always catch the perpetrator behind these accounts making these threats. They will always find you. It doesn't matter what you do. Some people do get away with these type of threats, and it sucks. But hopefully they catch this guy because this was just unnecessary. There was just an unnecessary amount of fear. And when I showed up to school today, almost no one showed up. Like I'm saying, like 5 people per class, if that. And it was really sad to see that people were genuinely terrified for their lives. And I really want to know why do those things? Like if it's not, I mean, if it's for attention, I'm not gonna say I get it. It's for attention. Nah, you're just being a douche at that point. The only bit of attention you're gonna get is from the judge when they find out who you did the threat. when they find out you did it, you're gonna end up in front of a bunch of people, and you're gonna be in a courtroom, and you're gonna get sentenced and get thrown into big boy jail, not juvie. Oh, no, 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 because you pretty much made a threat against a bunch of people's lives, thinking it was a cool idea and everything. And oh, bro, that's not even the epitome of the thing. um I'm in a group chat right now, and my friends send like all sorts of, they're pretty much keeping me updated as well as other people in the group chat. There was this other post with someone flashing a pew pew. Oh, we're gonna go with that. Flashing a pew pew. Pretty old picture, so I'm pretty sure it's not even from this, like, from this year or something like that. But pretty much like, oh, I'm gonna do this to the school as well. I'm like, oh my god, these people really, just really are. There's some really scumbags out there. Like, honestly, I don't know how to express how, because I really want to say some things, and if I let loose, it's just gonna be a whole mess, and I don't want that. But I just think this whole situation is stupid, to be honest, because, like, why why put that type of fear into people nowadays? Like, I really hope they catch the guy. Like, I wholeheartedly hope they can catch this guy. I hope someone snitches, someone does something to bring this guy to justice, because what happened today is just unforgivable as well. Speaking of unforgiving and unforgivable, yeah, it's just unforgivable. And oh dear lord, there was a bunch of cops today at my school. They were surrounding all sorts of corners, all sorts of hallways. They were everywhere. When I tell you they were everywhere, I want you to really picture everywhere. They were, yeah, they were loaded as well. Like, they weren't playing with this, and I'm really glad to see that they were taking it serious, because I felt a bit more safe knowing that if something were to go down, they would be there to help and neutralize the situation. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about what's going on in real life right now. Um yeah, it just sucks, fam. Why we gotta live in that type of time where people have to constantly watch over their backs going to school? They should feel safe, not threatened in the very least. Sad. It's just sad. Um I tried to switch it to a happy note. Let's see. We need to lighten the mood. I got a bit dark there. And well, yeah, it's just sad, but my voice is starting to hurt. Gonna try and wrap this episode up quickly. Stop motion. Yeah, stop motion. I have a new stop motion coming out hopefully this week or next week. The trailer has to drop sometime this week though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and push through the schedule and try to get everything edited and done with so they can all get released in their according of time. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Cookie Mug podcast. I know this episode is really short, but that's really how I intended it to be in the first place. It's just that me in the first episode, me and my friend got a bit carried away with their subjects, and it got dragged around to an hour or so. But that's really all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. If you agreed with any of the points or any of the stories, if you enjoyed anything in this episode, please let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like to show your support to the podcast. And if you're new around here, please make sure to subscribe. Follow all of my socials so you can get updated for any future or, yeah, any future episodes. But that's all I have for you beautiful people today. Please make sure to stay safe, guys. It's a scary time right now that we live in. And yeah, that's it. Much love and peace.